You know, athletes are often seen as some of the biggest spenders around, and it's probably because they're also among the highest earners. Take footballers, for instance. Their spending habits and lavish lifestyles are pretty much legendary. But have you ever thought about what it was like for them when they first started? Imagine the thrill of getting that very first paycheck. It's a huge moment for anyone, not just footballers. And what's even more interesting is what they choose to spend that first paycheck on. It could be anything from a simple toaster to an extravagant supercar. Here are what your favorite footballers spent their first paycheck on. Xavi Hernandez. The Spanish maestro was blessed with a career that was a subject of envy for any other footballer, seeing as he won every competition he played in, including a World Cup with Spain. Being one of the most decorated footballers in the history of the game, Xavi has a lot of fond memories as a footballer, but one of his fondest is what he spent his first paycheck on. After getting paid for the first time, Xavi bought his mother a toaster. It sounds like a random gift, but it has a sentimental backstory. The story behind it is that Xavi had initially promised his mother that when he got his first paycheck, he would buy her a new toaster, so that's precisely what he did. Saying how successful Xavi got as a footballer, he most likely bought his mother better gifts later on. But I'm pretty sure that memory of making good on his promise to his mother will remain with him for a very long time. Arda Turan. If you remember Arda Turan, it is most likely for his time at Atletico Madrid. The Turkish midfielder, known for his mesmerizing dribbles and brilliant passes, has been lucky to play for some of the biggest clubs in the world, like Barcelona and Atletico Madrid, and playing for the big boys has earned him some big bucks as well. But like Xavi, Arda Turan's first paycheck went towards a noble cause as well. In a display of filial piety, Arda Turan bought his father a petrol station with his first paycheck and, as a bonus, added some land in Bayrampaşa in Istanbul. He wasn't just hitting it off on the pitch, but he was already making better decisions with money at that age than most people do in their entire lives. I can't say the same for this next guy though. Sergio Aguero. Referred to by many as one of the greatest players to ever play in the Premier League and one of the finest strikers the game has known, Sergio Aguero has done it all. After hitting it off at Atletico Madrid, Aguero sealed a successful transfer to Manchester City, where he went on to become one of the greatest strikers in the history of the Premier League. I mean, who can forget that iconic Aguero moment? In hindsight, that move to City was the best thing that could have happened to his career. Still, I'm guessing Aguero suspected it the minute he signed the contract, because the first thing he did after getting his first paycheck was to buy a brand new Lamborghini Aventador worth $1.5 million. You heard me correctly. $1.5 million. The young, rich, and getting it lifestyle is dope, no doubt. And to be honest, nobody cares because he makes more than enough to afford 10 supercars. But where it gets funny, and not to sound like I'm judging, is that it's the stupidest purchase in the history of stupid purchases. I didn't say this. Aguero did himself. In his words, "I don't even know why I bought it. It must have done about 1,200 kilometers. I've barely used it." He even admitted that the car had been collecting dust and had cobwebs all over it. So you can agree with me when I say a $1.5 million dust collector is a pretty stupid purchase, but it's his money, so what do I know? Gianluigi Buffon. With over 1,100 professional appearances and several individual awards, Buffon is regarded as one of the greatest goalkeepers of all time. The current record holder for most appearances in Serie A has played for major European clubs like PSG and Juventus, and he delivered everywhere he went. The former Italian goalkeeper has made several iconic saves in his decorated career, but his biggest one might be investing his first paycheck in real estate. The former Juventus goalkeeper developed an early interest in real estate at the beginning of his career, and he constantly invested in it. His portfolio is worth over $20 million, and he also has a restaurant in Tuscany. It all started with a single paycheck. Spending that first paycheck the right way can be a significant plus in your life, after all. Casemiro. As wise as it is to invest your first paycheck in real estate, some people want to indulge in the little things that escaped them as a child, like milk. So that's precisely what Casemiro did when he got his first paycheck. Casemiro is known as one of the greatest defensive midfielders in football history, and he has 5 Champions League and several La Liga titles to back that up. But before the glamorous and successful lifestyle he currently leads, Casemiro was just a little boy from a humble background, growing up in the streets of Brazil. As a kid, Casemiro loved a milk-based drink called Yakult, which was very popular in Brazil. Due to circumstances back then, he couldn't afford to get them. According to his mother, Magda, whenever the street vendor passed, selling the packaged milk, she would call Casemiro in because she knew he would ask her to buy one for him. But as the famous saying goes, tough times don't last, but tough people do. After getting his first paycheck from Sao Paulo, the first thing Casemiro did was buy all the bottles of Yakult available at a supermarket. As the doting son that he is, he bought his mother a new house from the change. Thousands of dollars on just milk would be shocking. Like they say, it's the little things. Something a person like Cristiano can agree with. Cristiano Ronaldo. There's no need to say much about a player who is the most followed human being on Instagram. We had to bring him last to keep some spotlight on the rest of the players mentioned here. He has a Ballon d'Or for every other person on this list, and he has the cash to back up all these individual awards too. You can't think of a lot of people on this planet who live nearly as flamboyant as Cristiano Ronaldo. From the private jets to the fleet of supercars to the luxurious cribs, Cristiano doesn't deny himself the absolute best life has to offer. So, if you assume the Portuguese superstar spent his first paycheck on a Ferrari or a yacht, you are pardoned. But on the contrary, Cristiano's first paycheck was spent on a far more significant item you wouldn't guess. His first paycheck was spent on education. I bet you guessed protein shakes before education. To be more precise, Cristiano spent his first paycheck on a set of books he needed for school, but the first major paycheck he got after signing for Sporting was given to his mother, so she would never have to work again for a day in her life. Such a thoughtful kid. Wouldn't you agree? His mom definitely would. And that's a wrap for this video. What are your thoughts? Whose first big purchase really stood out to you, or which one was your favorite? Feel free to drop your thoughts in the comments below. Oh, and if you enjoyed this video, how about showing some love by hitting that like button? Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on more awesome content like this. It's totally free, and it means a lot to us. Stay tuned for our next video, and we can't wait to see you there. Have an amazing day, and see you next time.